everyone, we are doing level 3 differentiation, question 3E 2022. Alex An from Bangare Boys High asked this question. Megan cycles from her home, H, to school, S, each day. She rides along a path from her home to point P at a constant speed of 10 kilometers per hour. At point P, Megan cuts across a park, heading directly to school. When cycling across the park, Megan can only cycle at 6 kilometers per hour, I guess because of the friction. At what distance from her home should she choose to cut across the park in order to make her traveling time a minimum? Right, so obviously this is a differentiation problem. You have to find the first derivative and set it 0 and find the x, right? To find the distance from H to P. So in this case, I believe if we set this, so distance between P to Q be x is better. So hence home to P must be 4 minus x, isn't it? Right? So once we find the x, we take that away from 4 will be the answer. Now, you know, we have to minimize the time, right? And we have to use this formula. So speed or velocity equals d over t, isn't it? If we rearrange this, make t the subject, t equals d over v, isn't it? So say h to p is t1 and p to s is t2. Then we can make an equation in terms of time. Before we do that, we need the distance between P to S. So to do that, we need to use a Pythagoras theorem because it's right angle triangle. So the distance between P to S is the square root of what? X squared plus 2 squared, which is 4, isn't it? So use that. So say big T is the total time equals small time T1, right? Plus T2. So what is T1? That's distance, which is 4 minus x over speed, which is 10, right? Plus second lot is this distance is square root of x squared plus 4 over 6, right? So I'm gonna rewrite this in terms of index rule. Right? Now, we are going to differentiate this t in terms of a small, x, right? And we set it 0. So the first term, 4 minus x over 10, that becomes negative 1 over 10. Do you see that? Because when we split this out, 4 over 10 minus x over 10, right? So which becomes negative 1 over 10. And second lot, it's a bit complicated, but so first of all 1 over 6 front, and then half comes front, and x squared plus 4 to the power of negative half. So I'm using chain rule, and times by inner, which is 2x. I'm going to simplify this. Negative 1 over 10 stays the same, and 2 and that 2 cancels out. So what left is x at the top and bottom 6, and that becomes square root of x squared plus 4 at the denominator, isn't it? And we have to say this is 0 because it's we are finding minimum, right? Now we rearrange this. So x over 6 square root of x squared plus 4 becomes 1/10, and you know what? We do cross multiplication, right? So that means 10x equals 6 square root of x squared plus 4. Because there is a square root, we have to square both sides. That leads me to 100x squared equals 6 squared is 36 and x squared plus 4, right? Then we expand and rearrange it. So 100x squared minus 36x squared equals 36 times 4, 144. So that is a 64x squared, isn't it? Over 144. So divided by 64 on both sides leaves 144 to over 64. And divide by 8. 18. 8. So that becomes 9 quarters. So x squared is 9 quarters. Hence x must be plus minus 3 over 2, which is plus minus 1.5, right? So let's check. When x is a positive 1.5, so h to p must be, there are two answers, but one is not right, I believe. So 4 plus 1.5 makes a 5.5. That's not correct, right? Because h to p must be less than 4, right? So try that again. The other one is 4 minus 1.5, which is 2.5 kilometers. Should be the answer, all right? Okay. All right, I'll see you next time. 안녕.